Hi all, how you doing? Hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. So I'm going to look at Aerodrome liquidity pools in terms of like profits and stuff. So I've put my money in some of these pools. I put them in six pools, okay? Six pools, different things. So we've got Aero and USDBC, USDC and Aero. We've got OVN and USD Plus, weth and Sexy, Virtual and weth, and aero and OVN. Okay, so there's six pools with various amounts in, not massive amounts, not by some other people's standards, that's for sure, but it doesn't really make any difference. The percentages and stuff like that are kind of still the same. Um, so there, the state liquidity there, that's what I put in, okay, here. And you can see what it's worth at the moment and that kind of thing. And over time, these figures change, okay, as the pools rebalance and that kind of thing. And then if you look in the liquidity rewards, so at the top in your so if you've got Aerodrome and you use Aerodrome, um, in the dashboard, this will be okay. So underneath your locks, if you've got any locks, you might not have any locks. You get liquidity rewards. And so this basically gives out your emissions. So here you'll see your emissions and you can claim them. So I'm just letting them ride because I don't see the point in, I don't intend really to do anything with them. If you wanted to do something with your aero, then you'd obviously claim it and then do something with it. You know, you could potentially put it into more liquidity pools, or you could just swap it for something else or whatever. Okay. But I'm just kind of letting it build up at the moment because I feel like the price of aero is probably going to go up soon. So I'm happy keeping the aero. Although I don't have it in my wallet, I can get it anytime by just claiming, but I just don't see the point in claiming because obviously every time you claim, it costs a certain amount of fees in Ethereum and stuff to claim it. Okay, so I'd rather just let it build up and claim it kind of if I maybe finish the pool or something. So here are all the emissions, and you can see different ones, you know, so I've started these at different times, but I did sort of claim them. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a spreadsheet. Okay, so if I just pull up this spreadsheet, and this will sort of show you more clearly. So if we have a look at the Aero OVN pool, okay, so this was on the 24th of April 2024, and I had 483 Aero in and 8.56 OVN, which is yeah, so and that dollar amount was worth $742 and $734. Okay, so the OVN was worth $734, the Aero is worth 742. And this is the amount of emissions I had. So in this spreadsheet, this is basically the emissions column, how much I had to start with. So pretty much I removed most of it from all of them. Okay. And this is on the 10th of May 2024. So if we look at the OVN, Aero OVN, on the 10th of the 5th, the pool had rebalanced a little bit. So now I've only got 467 Aero. So you can see it's gone down by about 16 Aero. And if you have a look at the OVN, which is 8.85, it's gone up slightly, okay, by about 0.3, okay, just to rebalance. And now you can see the massive drop off as the price obviously has come down over the past few weeks, kind of thing. So now the dollar amount is $498. So we've lost effectively. So if I'd have just sold my aero and my OVN instead of putting it in this liquidity pool and just sold it, okay, I would have got $742. So if I'd put it into a stable coin, that's how much I'd have. But I put it in a liquidity pool and I've got similar amounts, okay, of those tokens, one slightly down, one slightly up. It's always going to be that way. But the dollar amounts has massively gone down. So in effect, I've lost $242 in aero and about, yeah, 241. It's roughly, they're roughly the same amount. So $240 on each one. So that's $480 I've effectively lost in 16 days. Okay. And what have I got for that? I've got a profit of these are the emissions. So I got 90 set. This is how much is in emissions is there at the moment. So you take it off what was there initially. So my emissions was 94.18 in aero. So that's what you get paid out in emissions. You get paid out in aero. Okay, those are the emission tokens. So you can see all of these. So if we go through all of these, you can see what the dollar amount was. 230. So virtual and weth, the dollar amount was 234. It's now 188. Okay. Weth and sexy, 437. It's now 360. Aero and usdbc there was 1251. It's now 1042. OVN and USD plus 691 down to 5. So all of these you can see downloads. Okay, this is down nearly $300. This one USDC and aero. Okay. Yeah, so see here, I had more USDC. My USDC has come down a lot. Okay. Because it's a stable coin. So all of these are the emissions. So in total, I've got like 589 in emissions in aero. So that's about $600. So if I'd have sold all of this, I'm not going to do it out, but you can roughly do the maths. I'm miles down. Okay, I'm miles down. I mean, there's like $400 there. There's like $300, $600 there. You know, $1,000 in just those two pools. So a lot of the time, you'll see a lot of YouTubers saying, "Oh, look, I've made this much in a week." Okay, and all they'll look at is these figures here. So I could make a video quite easily as a YouTuber and say, I've made $589 dollars or $600 in 2 weeks using using liquidity pools on Aerodrome. Okay, so that's the sort of video that these guys are making. Okay, but the reality is that you can potentially be losing money. Okay, what I would say to counteract that is if you'd held your aero anyway, then you know, it wouldn't have changed that much. Okay, here you're actually, if you'd just hold your aero, you'd still have 483 aero. Okay, you know, if you just like bought it on spot and did nothing with it, okay, you'd still have 483 aero. So I've lost some aero, but also here, if I'd have just held my OVN at 8.56, I'd still have 8.56, but here I've got 8.85. So you can argue that the amounts of my crypto is still the same as what it was, roughly speaking. Or some of it's gone up. So for instance, here I've got more aero, okay, but I've lost some USDC, okay. So the amounts are kind of the same, but the dollar value has gone down when the market comes down. Okay. So you could argue that's normal, but what you're gaining here, you've got some emissions. So you kind of have to look at it. You know, it's not clear cut that you have made $600. I mean, if the market keeps coming down, you're eventually your tokens are going to be worth nothing. You'll have a load of emissions, and don't forget, because these are in aero. If aero price keeps coming down, I mean, if aero price comes down to 10 cents, instead of this being worth $600, it'll be worth $60. Okay. So you have to sort of think about things in those terms. It's not clear cut on whether you're making a profit or not. um, you know, you have to, it swings and roundabouts. You know, you see how you look at this. Would you just hold on to these tokens and done nothing with them? Okay. So if we put them in a liquidity, the other thing is the other upshot is, let's say the price of these tokens go up. So I've got another video. If you check out one of my other videos, I've got a video of me putting like 3,000 aero into a liquidity pool. Okay. And the price of aero then was about 10 cents. So that 3,000 aero was worth, say, $300. Well, at some point afterwards, aero got to $2.50 or something. Let's call it $2 for argument's sake. So that 3,000 aero would be worth $6,000. Okay. But because I put it in a liquidity pool, the amount of aero I had then was much less. They'd sold off a lot of those aero tokens because it goes up, and they replaced it with USDC, let's say. So I think I had it in a the aero USDBC pool. So my 3,000 aero, I combined it with like about 300 USDBC. And then what happened is when the price went up, my aero that was in that pool came down, sold it for USDBC. So my USDBC went up to say whatever, 1,300. So I had about $1,300 worth of USDBC and about $1,300 worth of aero. The thing is, if I'd have just hold on to the aero, that aero would have been worth, say, 6,000, okay, dollars, just by holding on to it and not putting it in a liquidity pool. So it's not a straightforward calculation. These people, these YouTubers saying, "Oh, you're getting this much profit." It's not clear cut how much your profit is because the tokens go up and down in value. The amount of tokens go up and down in amount due to the pool rebalancing, okay, because that's what it has to do. It has to sort of maintain a kind of 50-50 in the pool. So liquidity, using these liquidity pools isn't straightforward. So when people say, "Have you made a profit?" it's not clear to say yes or no, okay? And just be careful about these YouTubers saying, "I made $2,000 in a week using liquidity pools," because it's not clear cut. So I just wanted to get that out there. Too many YouTubers are doing these Aerodrome videos, or not just Aerodrome, any liquidity farms and stuff like that. And it's not clear cut whether you're actually making a profit or not. All right. Okay, so that's all I've got to say on the comment on this video. I'll probably come back to it another time and talk about it in a different way. Okay, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.